we will see at times when we could or we could shorten up some of the things, right? I feel like this just comes to physics, huh? In the physics, we just do one just like this. All right, let's go. The number 3.14, correct the 3 decimal places, 3.3 decimal places, right? All right, so that'll be 3.141, right? That's quite here, value after more than 5, right? What percentage of 40 is 8? So you can check 8 on 40, break it down, you'll get 1 on 5, 20%. Standard notation, that'll be 2.0806 by 10 to the, move it twice, right? By 10 to the positive 2. Next one. What is the least number of apples that can be, what is the least number of apples that can be equally shared among 6, 10, and 15? So you're looking for the lowest common multiple of all 3 of them. That'll be what, 30? Boy. All right. Equally shared. That's the lowest. That's 30. If 350 is shared 2 to 5, the largest share, that'll be 5/7 for the whole thing. So most of these numbers is easy to handle, right? So that's 50. 350, 5 by 50, that is 250. All right. So that's around 250. C is 250. Right, you'll recognize how much sets it have here, right? There's some Kahoot on sets. I think I gave you all. You could take a look at that, right? Those are past papers that you can just do over. There are 40 students in a class, 25, sorry, girls make up 60, 25% of the girls wear glasses. How many girls wear glasses? So 60% make up the 60% make up the girls, so we can find 60%, which we know is 3/5 of 40, that's 24. And 25% of them wear glasses. How many wear glasses? 25% is a quarter. So 6 wear glasses. Okay. Next one. They give you a universal set. H is 3, 4, 6. H prime is everything outside of H, but in the universal set. So that will be 1, 2. 5. 1, 2, 5. Boy. Which of the following represents the set of integers from -3 to 6? Right, so it sounds like they're including them, right? -3 to 6, this is symbol for integer. Right, so that'll be cut. If x and y are 2 finite sets such that that is that and that is that, what's the intersection? That's where the Venn diagram comes in handy, right? Right, here's x, here is 9 minus x, and here's 10 minus x. And the same when you add it up, when you add up 9 minus x, 10 minus x, you add up all of that, you're going to get 15. Right, so that is 19 minus x is 15, so x is 4. Okay, so you got to remember that, right? When you add up x only and y only, and the intersection, when you add up here, here, and here, it always equal to the universal set. The Venn diagram x represents the set of factors of 12. Y represents the set of factors of 9. The shaded region. So factors of 12, we can just run that through quickly. So that'll be 2, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12. Factors of 9. The shaded region represents the set of all the factors of 3. Right? 12 and 9, right? Yeah, so that's 1 and 3. That's it. Which of the following sets is an example of a disjoint set? Disjoint means that they don't intersect, right? Even and odd. 30 students in a teacher's mates class have either a dog or cat or none of the two. All of the students who have a cat also have a dog. So that's a subset, right? All who have a cat also have a dog. Right? So D is the answer. D is the only one that shows a subset. Right. Here's where it gets a little time consuming, right? I think it's about 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these, okay. All right. And then you can pick back up your pace a little bit, right? So it might go a little slow here. Because you have no calculator, right? So you have to be able to work these things with no calculator. So excluding sales tax, how much will be saved when a video that costs $12 is sold at a 20% discount? How much will be saved, right? So basically you want to find 20% at 12, right? Which is 1/5 of 12, right? So basically that's 5 into 12, right? So you know that's what, 2 point something, 20, so that's 2.4. Right? Oh yeah, you could just put 2 and 2/5, which is 2.24. Right? Remember, you have no calculator, so you have to find little ways around it, right? EC is 250 to 1 US, then 20, right? So take 250, divide it into 20, and you will get, how much you'll get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, and then multiply it by 1 of this, $8. The price of a television set is cash price, sorry, of a television set is $350. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 by 30. So this is $360 plus 35, which is $395. How much is saved by paying cash? You would have saved $45. Right, $395 minus $350. 16. A company employs 20 persons as gardeners and clerks. The mean, which is average, right? Wage of all the employees is 225. So they give us the mean, 22.4. If each of the 12 gardeners is paid, each of the 12 gardeners is paid 26 per day, then the daily amount paid to each of the 8 clerks is what? So it's 20 people being paid 22.40, right? So is the sum, what is the total on 20 is 22.4. So the total will be 22.4 multiplied by 20. So you multiply by 10 and then multiply by 2. So you move the decimal place and multiply by 2, you will get 448. Right? That's it, that's total. And they said that each of the 12 gardeners is paid 26. You know, this could have been done differently. Anyway, I don't reach this method, following this method already, right? So you multiply 26 by 12. So that's 26 by 10, which is 260, plus 2 by 26, right, which is 52. So I have 312. That's cost, right? 312. So it means that the remaining is 136, right? And then 10 years later, we divide 8 into 136, right? 8 into 13 is 2, which is wrong. 8 into 13 is 1, remainder 5. Yeah, remainder 5. And that's 17, so the answer is that $17. Wait, that take long, boy. What we could have also done was I probably have that formula, but you could have also find the average. Find the average for the gardeners and then minus and then divide. But that might have been a little tricky with the numbers. Right, but that's basically what you might have to do there. Right, find the total and then work it out. So the answer is 17. So a man's annual salary is 47,000. His tax-free allowances total is 13,000. He has to pay a tax of 20% on his taxable income. Right? The tax payable is how much? So his annual salary is this, free allowances is that, so you add a multi. So we aren't allowed to bring, no calculators. So you had to learn to work these things out for yourself. Right? No calculators. 45,000 minus 13,000, right? That's what, 32,000, right? 32,000, and they said 20% of that is taxable. 20% of that is taxable, so that's 1/5 taxable. So that's 6,400. That's the amount that tax payable. Okay. A salesman sells a car for 10,500. If he is paid in commission 5% for the first 10,000 and 8% on the remainder, then the total commission he receives is 5% on the first 10,000, right? Right, so it's how to get used to doing those things. That's why I do it out for you. So that's a 500 he'll make, and 8% on the remainder. So it's only 500. So 8% on that will cancel. 8 by 5 is 40. So that's 540 in commission he will receive. Right? 540 in commission he will receive, right? A simple basic wage of 40-hour week is 160. He is paid $5 per hour for overtime. If you work 6.25 overtime, what is his wage for that week? Right, so normally is 160. He is paid 5 for every hour overtime. He works 6.5. So that'll be 6.5 multiplied by 5. 6 by 5, that's 30. Half of 5 is 2.5. So that's 32.5 extra he'll be getting for overtime. Right? And you add in 32.5 to 160, that should be easy, right? 192.5. A calculator which is marked at 120 is sold for cash at 30% discount. How much change will Susan receive if she pays with $100 bill? So first thing we have to do is find 30% of that. 30% of 120. Right? So this will cancel off here. So that's $36. Okay? So that's $36 off she got in. So that's 120 minus 36. So that's 84, I think. Right? That's $84. So if she paid with 100, you add a minus 84, so that would be $16. So that's Apple. right? That's apple. So make sure and read the questions out, right? Just had to read them out to make sure you're doing the right thing, right? So Megan normally saves X dollars each month, but in August she saves $4 less than twice her usual amount. So she's normally save X, but in August she saved $4 less than twice her usual amount, right? So that's 2X minus 4. Right, 5 star 2. So you had to work out 5 star 2 first, right? So you got to be careful here, right? So this is 5 cubed minus 2 squared, right? So that's 125 minus 4, which is root 121, which is 11. So this whole value here is 11. So now you're doing 5 star 11, right? So that'll be the square root of 5 cubed minus 11 squared, which is 125 minus. So the answer is apple. Okay, so 5 star 2, you have to work it out first and then plug it in and get the next part. Okay. Next one. So they gave you a trapezium, and they said the area is x squared. Sorry, the area is x squared, right? So area is half the sum of the parallel sides, right? So x squared is equal to half the sum of the parallel sides multiplied by the height. Okay, so x squared is equal to half of x 2 minus 4 is minus 2. Right? So when you carry up the 2, you'll get 2x squared and then divide everything by x minus 2. That'll give you each apple. Okay? So you're multiplying by 2 first. That's how I got 2x squared and cancel this off. And then I divide in everything by x minus 2. And that's how I get each. That's 23, 24. All right, this is 3 minus x plus 2. So that's 5 minus x, right? Be careful with the signs, right? Here, you have to add the powers. So I think that's n plus 1, n plus 1, n plus 2, so that's 2n plus 3. So I think the answer is B, if we read it off properly. Here, this is 5y minus 10 is equal to 3y plus 12. So when you work it out, you'll get 2y is 22, so y is 11. Right? Bring all the y's on one side, bring the numbers on one side, and then divide. Okay? Yeah, next one, vectors. So they want p minus 2q. So they want 3, 7 minus 2 by minus 2, 5. So 3, 7 is, you can multiply it out if you want one time. So you can leave the minus sign and multiply everything by 2. Or you can bring in the minus signs, up to you. I'll I will leave it out for now. 2 by minus 2 is minus 4, 2 by 5 is 10. Now I will use the minus sign. 3 minus minus 4, 7 minus 10. So that's 7 minus 3. That cut. 7 minus 3. Twenty-eight e to g is expressed in terms of this, right? So because it's a parallelogram, here is m and here is also k. Right? So you're going again with m with k. So I am getting m plus k. Apple. Okay? Apple. You can go to the next way if you want as well. Number 5. XY is equal to 4, 10, 20. Find the value of x and y. So basically, when you multiply them, it's supposed to be equal, right? So when you multiply this, you'll get 5x, 5y. And that should be equal to when you multiply by 4. So that's 40, 80. Right? So 5x is 40, x is 8. 5y is 80. Y is what? 16. So that's B. Right? You have to multiply them before you compare them, right? Right? You have to multiply them all before you compare them. All right, next one, they want A inverse, a little bit of matrices. So you find the determinant first, 2 by 4 minus 7 by 1. So that's 1. So the determinant is 1 on 1. And the adjoint is switch around the 4 and the 2. Change the sign of the 1 and the 7. Right? So the answer is dog. All right? The answer is dog. 31. If it took a speedboat 9 hours to travel this distance, what's its average speed in kilometers per hour? So you're taking your distance and you're dividing it by your time. Right? So this is 120, 120. Right? Remember, no calculator, so you have to get back used to dividing like that, right? So 21 is C. The perimeter of a trapezium in centimeters is that. Right? Oh, the perimeter, sorry. So you just add it up. Right? You can convert it first, so just add it up. I converted it one time, right? So that's 12. Well, you can see the answer, kind of. You can see the answer already. 12 plus 41 plus 21 plus 18. Right? 12 plus 18, that's 40. Sorry, 30 plus 62. That's 92. Right? Add up the easy things first and then put them together, right? 692. Right? And as I said, sometimes the answers, you can just pick them out right there. Right? They want what now? They want the circumference of a circle. The circumference is 15. Find the length of the minor arc. Well, the minor arc is a fraction. This is the minor arc, so it's a fraction, which is 120 on 360 of 15. Right? That's your minor arc. Major arc would be a bigger one, right? Next one, that's 33, 34. Take your time with these, right? An aircraft leaves at 1600 hours and arrives at B 1930. So that's 3 hours and a half, right? Traveling at an average speed of 550. Right? So the speed appears to be 550 kilometers per hour. A and B are in the same time zone, the distance between A and B. So we know speed is distance and time, distance is speed by time. So that's 550 multiplied by 3.5. Right, so you multiply 3 by this, that's 1500 plus 150, that's 1650, I think. Right, by 2 is 11, and then you add half. Half is 275. Right, so that'll be 5291. Right, so again, you remember how to add on thing, right? Right, when you're multiplying by 3.5, multiply by 3, and then find half and add it. Right, that's basically how you should do it in primary school, right? You gotta get back used to that. 35. If you first a circle with center O and major and minor sectors indicated, right? The area of the major sector that's outside here is 515. Then the area on center, or one area, the whole thing. So there are a few ways that you can do it. One of the easiest ways is that this is 1/6 of the whole circle. This, right? That 515 is 5/6. So all you have to do is find for one section, which would be 103, and then multiplied by 6, which would be 618. So I find for 1/6, and then I find for the whole thing. So 618 is the answer, which is dog. Right, which is dog. All right. Okay. Next one. Next one here, the volume of the cuboid is so much, the height is so much. If the length of the square base is 8, what is the height? So you're using the normal formula for volume, right? Volume will be length by breadth by height. So the volume is 320, and you divide by this area, the base, which is 64. Right? You can divide both of them by 8, and 8 into this is 8. 8 into the one on top is 40. 8 into 40 is 5. So the height is 5. Okay? To the 7, the area of a triangle is 60 centimeter cube, and its height is, and the length, and its height is 10. What is the area of the base? I'll give it the height, and the length of the base. So once you have a triangle, you have your base, you have your height, right? Area of a triangle is half base by height, right? So 60 is equal to half of the base by the height. What's the height again? Height is 10. So 2 by 60, that's 120, is equal to 10b. B is 12. Right? So the base appears to be 12. They give you a square. A square has the same perimeter as a rectangle whose sides are 9 and 15 in length. All right, same perimeter. So that's 4s is equal to all the sides here, right? all the sides here. So that would be what? 2 by 9, that's 18. 2 by 15, that's 30. So S will be 48 divided by 4. So the length of one side should be 12. Boy. Okay, now we boy. Right, the lower limit of the median class. So you're looking for where the median will lie, right? How much people it is here? You have to see how much people it is, and then you can find the lower limit of the median class, right? So this is, I'm just looking for the easy things to add up, right? That's 40, right? When you add up here and here, right, that is 50, 63, and then you add up 47, right? So that's 150. So the median should be around 75. So you're looking to basically see where 75 is. If you add up here, that's 60, 47 plus 29, that is what, 76. So you know inside here is where you expect to find your median. So the lower limit, 31, right? Not the boundary, the limit is 31. The boundary would be 30.5. How many children have a mass of at most 50? So at most 50 is when you sum up this here. Right? At most 50 is 29 plus 47, which you add already as 76 plus 24, right? Which is 100. Right? So look out for those little things, right? What is the modal score? The modal score is 8. Right? The modal score, right? Right? It has 12 people, but the modal score is 8. God, this iPad gonna die. 42. They give you a cumulative frequency. Find the lower quartile, so that'll be 1/4 of 200, which is about 50. So we had to read off 50, right? This is what? 40, that's 60. So 50 halfway there, that's about here. 30. The lower quartile is 30. Right, that's the best answer, at 30. Here, it refers to the following bar chart, which shows the ages of children who took part in a survey. Right, so you have 3 children, 3, 4, 2, and 5, right? That's 14, that's 16 children in all. A child is selected at random. What is the probability that the child is more than 4 years old? More than 4 means there's 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So that will be 12 children. So that will be 12 on 16, or 3/4. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. What's the probability that the child is more than 4 years old? 4, 5, 6, 11, 12. 12 over, did I add up wrong then? I wonder if I add up wrong. 3 and 4 is 7. This is 3, this is 4, 2, 5, 1. Right? Yes, 15. Oh, shucks. I guess 16. So it's 12. Right? So it's 15 in total. Right? And more than that will be 6 and 6, 12. Right? So that's 12 on 15. 5 into this, 3 into this, 5, 3 into 12, 4. So that's dog. Right? That's dog. Right? 44, 600 students sit an exam. Oh, there is, I think Cohen Springer have one as well. There is a video that he did where he went through a whole set of questions on the same topic, so you can look for that as well, right? So like if you know you're struggling with probability, you could just look for it and see if anybody have that. And if you get in trouble and you have one you want me to do, just send a pic of it and I'll do it for you. All right. 600 students sit an exam. The probability the probability of a randomly selected student passes the exam is 4/5. So fail is 1/5. 600 students sit an exam. Right, when you do your thing, you will get 120. So 120 fail. Right, which of the following functions represent the equation of a straight line? This is a curve. C. That's when one is a straight line. The point where a linear function crosses the vertical axis, right? So you have a linear function crossing the vertical axis, that's the y-axis. That's called the y-intercept. Okay, that's dog. Some of these you have to read it because they could just change the horizontal axis and the answer changes, right? So, someone like to memorize the answers. Give it a little read too. The arrow diagram above represents the relationship what? 2 to 4, 2 to 10, 3 to 9, 4 to 8. Y is less than x. X is a factor of y here. Y is a factor of x is a multiple now. X is a factor of y, boy. What is the y-intercept of a straight line? Yeah, divide everything by 2 first, right? So the y-intercept is -4. Okay? Divided by 2 first. Next one. If 49 is that, if each of x is that, what is each of 4? So that's 3 by 4 minus 2 on 5. So that's 10 on 5, which is 2. Right? Cut. What is the value of f inverse 1 in this function? So you got to find the inverse. Y is 5 minus 2x. Just make x the subject and you have the inverse, right? So you have 2x is 5 minus y, x is 5 minus y on 2. That's the inverse, right? And you want to just plug in 1 now. 5 minus 1 on 2, which is 2. Okay? That's all. Or you could try to figure out which of these values, when you put it in there, will give you 1. That's all you have to do. The value of x at the points where this intersects the x-axis. So basically, you're going to take 4x minus x squared, make it equal to 0, and solve it. But we could factorize it, right? So we'll get x is 0 and x is 4. Right? Cut. X is 0 and x is 4. A line L is perpendicular to that line. What is the gradient of the line L? Right? It's perpendicular to this. So that's the gradient. And then you have to switch it over and change the sign. So that's -5 on 2. Apple. In the diagram, the translation by which AB is mapped to A prime, B prime is represented by. So all we have to do is just take 2, 5, add it to x, y, and we're supposed to get the image. So x could be 2 to get 4, and y will be 1 to get x. So the answer is 2, 1. Right? That's boy. 53 is boy. 2, 1. Next, P and Q equal, right? The absolute relationship, P and Q equal. So a ship now sailed 8 kilometers due east, right? So you have a ship, it's starting at A, and it went 8 kilometers due east to B. It then sails 6 kilometers due north to C. Right? Let me see which one is that now. Right? Looking like cut. cat is the answer, right? This one, a polygon, angle A is X and angle A and B are supplementary. Angle A and B are supplementary. What's the size of B? Supplementary means they sum to 180, right? So that's 180 minus X, that's dog. All okay with that one? I know that's not a familiar word. Everybody okay with that, right? The supplementary, that means sum up to 180, right? Next one refers to the following diagram, which shows the graph of a line y equal to x. If the line y equal to x is rotated anti-clockwise about O, then this image is what? Right, 90 degrees, right? So 90 degrees anti-clockwise means it will be here. Right, that's y is equal to minus x. A little bit of circle theorem. What's the size of alpha? Right, well, we know here is 90, so alpha has to be 45. Here's 45 and here's 45. Right, next one. Here's 35, so here's 35, right? Y is 12 from Z. Then XY is what? So you want to find here, right? You want to find XY. So you have opposite and you have adjacent. So that tan 35 is equal to opposite over XY. So XY is 12 over tan 35. Did I write that correctly? Hold on, I'm gonna write it over. I'm not seeing the answer I have. So I wrote it wrong. Here's 35 degrees as well. Right? So we want to find XY. So tan 35 is opposite over adjacent. So XY is 12 over tan 35. They don't have it like that. So if Y is 12 meters from Z and the base XY in meters is see if you use here, here's 55. Right. Oh yeah. That's what it did. So the answer is dog. They're using X side, right? So if I use 55, it will be tan 55, which is opposite over adjacent. So XY is 12 tan 55. Right? So the answer is dog. Right? Using the trig ratio, which trig ratio is 4 and 8? So you have opposite over hypotenuse. Right? Opposite over hypotenuse is tan x. Sorry, sine x. Right? Sine x. Opposite over hypotenuse. Yep. All right, nice. So that is your 20